Looking for your next favorite book? Or maybe your next ghost story? From the Ground Up Books isn't just a bookstore, it's an experience. With 2 unique locations in LaGrange and Shepherdsville, we're proud to be a local hub for readers, writers, and lovers of the unusual. Our LaGrange store is tucked inside the historic Ballard House, built in 1840, and yes, it's haunted. Join us for book signings, author events, and ghost hunts through this legendary Kentucky landmark. Or stop by our Shepherdsville store, nestled along the Bourbon Trail, for small-town charm, indie reads, and a few spirited surprises of its own. So if you love books, community, and just the right amount of weird, come visit us in person or explore online at fromthegroundupbooks.com. From the Ground Up Books. Read local, feel the history, keep it weird, y'all.
Feeling overwhelmed, stuck, or energetically off balance? It might be time to reconnect with yourself. At Mystic Bliss Reiki, we offer heart-centered healing using Usui Holy Fire and Karuna Reiki to help you release stress, clear energetic blockages, and awaken your inner peace. Whether you're seeking personal transformation, looking to heal from past emotional wounds, or curious about your soul's journey through past life regression, Mystic Bliss Reiki is your sacred space for spiritual renewal. We also offer certified Reiki training so you can not only receive healing, but also become a healer. Sessions are available in person or online, so wherever you are, your healing can begin. Are you ready to feel lighter, clearer, and more aligned? Visit mysticblissreiki.com and book your session today. Where energy flows, healing begins.
Hello and welcome to Weirdos in the Wild with our co-host, AJ Oxley, paranormal investigator with Beyond This Life Paranormal and multi-generational paranormal enthusiast, and Lynn Tincher, Beyond This Life paranormal investigator, Reiki master, published author, and near-death experiencer. Travel with them, a couple of everyday weirdos on a wild ride to all things paranormal and metaphysical.
Hey everybody, my name's AJ.
And I'm Lynn.
And you're listening to Weirdos in the Wild. If you're looking for good things that is all weird, you found it here.
Because we're weird.
We are weird. And if you're back with us, thank you. If you're brand new with us, thank
Welcome.
you.
Yeah.
We're glad you're here. We're going to talk about one of the weird things that we have not talked about yet. And one of my favorite things to talk about, besides ghosts. Ghosts is number 1, but number 2 is cryptids.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have my favorite cryptid hat on today. You all can't see that because it's a podcast, and I understand that. But I do have on a lovely Bigfoot hat my sister gave me.
That's cool.
So, but today we're going to talk about another cryptid, Mothman.
That's right.
And this one kind of came about because recently, I follow these weird things, and Mothman's been in the news, and I've heard some stuff about Mothman, and I was like, isn't this weird? I want you to hear about it. So,
we'll get into it, but there might be some reasons he's showing up now.
Yeah, if you believe the myths and that's around it. So, tell us about how it all came about, Lynn.
The ones I really know about is like the most famous one because it's been in the movies, and which is one of my favorite movies with Richard Gere, is the Mothman. But it was first reported in Point Pleasant, West Virginia in 1966, which is actually not all that far from where we are right now in and around Louisville, Kentucky.
No, it's kind of in that tri-state of West Virginia, Kentucky, and Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of that. If you're all familiar with that area of the United States, where it kind of all comes together right there, right on the Ohio River.
Right, and he's an interesting character. He's about human size. Well, actually, he's larger than human size, but not by a whole lot. But he's larger than human size, and he kind of looks humanoid-like.
Lots of different
descriptions
of this creature. Because everything from, like you said, normal size person to 6 to 8 feet tall.
Right. But the most striking thing is it has wings, hence Mothman.
Yeah.
A lot of them have been reported as having red eyes. Just some they say he
Glowing
could
red
fly,
eyes.
and some they just glides around. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's an interesting character.
A lot of people said, very humanoid type of body shape, arms and wings. Everything from being very tall and very muscular. I saw reports of people saying he looked like a bodybuilder. Gray to black to brown with fur.
Oh, I haven't heard the fur.
Yeah, so lots of different descriptions of it, but all saying it is some sort of flying humanoid.
Right. And they say that he's like a harbinger for natural disaster or just disasters in
Bad
general.
things in
Bad
general.
things. Bad juju.
Yeah, and Point Pleasant has had its share of bad juju.
Yes, unfortunately. Whenever he started showing up, I don't know if anybody's seen the movie because they know what I'm going to talk about, but whenever he started showing up in Point Pleasant, he was seen several times, and eventually the Silver Bridge from I think goes over the Ohio to
River,
Ohio.
Connects Ohio and West Virginia.
And that collapsed on Christmas or Christmas Eve.
Right
It's
before
right Christmas time.
Yeah, right before Christmas.
And killed 46 people. And that was on December 15th, 1967.
Mm-hmm.
They said that it was determined to be a structural failure in an eye-bar chain, but a lot of people said they saw Mothman near the bridge shortly before it collapsed. So we don't know if he helped cause this, or if he was just trying to warn people, or he showed up for some reason because something like this was going to happen. I don't know.
Yeah, there's supposed pictures of the Mothman on the structure of the bridge before it happened.
You never know.
You never know, and it's the picture I saw on the internet, which of course we know could be doctored if it's on the internet, but
Right.
But if it's on the interweb,
It's true.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's definitely true. But it was definitely some sort of creature with some sort of wings on it.
Right. And they say
And
the
very
wingspan's
large.
10
Very
feet.
large.
Yeah.
This thing was very large, very tall and long.
Yeah, and they say that his wingspan is like 10 feet. They said he could take off vertically. I guess like Superman? I don't know.
And that was one of the things people I'll go through some of the things I found, but yes, it was like he just leapt. Like you would say, like Superman leapt.
Yeah. So, I don't know. And they say he could fly like up to 100 miles an hour. I don't know who would see him long enough and have the equipment to clock that, but okay. That's pretty fast.
Yeah. So I'm sure you've got the original account where he was. Mm-hmm. So why don't you tell us about that one?
The from Point Pleasant.
Yeah.
Let's see. Several people, a couple of young couples, saw that. They said they were driving near. Oh, that's some. Yeah. Sorry, can't talk today. It's been a long day. But there was some younger people that were driving past the TNT munitions plant just outside of Point Pleasant. They said they saw a large gray creature standing near the road with glowing red eyes. So when they drove away, that creature followed their car, flying overhead at speeds up to 100 miles an hour. So I guess that's kind of how they clocked it. But they were booking too if they were guessing 100 miles an hour. So they raced to town and reported to the police. And that's actually what started the legend. Mm-hmm. That was the first sighting.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of people that said that around that TNT area, which is what it's called, but it's a World War II munitions facility, that they have like concrete igloos where explosives were stored. There's a lot of woods around the area, a lot of abandoned structures, and flooded pits. So, I mean, this whole area just kind of sets it up for the spookiness.
Right.
So...
Right.
But they think he lives in those abandoned bunkers or in the swampy pits where other large animals could hide. But they said it could be possibly home to some rare birds. I know some people think that maybe this Mothman might have been like a heron or something, some of those really tall, lanky birds. But they don't look very humanoid to me.
And that's one of the things that I did look out and said, hey, it could be a giant bird. Well, yeah,
there are big birds.
There are big birds. There are big birds that, we're from that part of the country. Yes, there are big birds around here. We have those giant herons. We have eagles. We have, vultures, turkey vultures, and they're big birds.
Yeah.
But I would never see, and I mean, we've all seen those birds. Yeah, some of those herrings and cranes are tall, but they're not 7 or 8 feet tall.
No. No, but I mean, I could see, like, if you're in the dark or something and you've got this big bird standing there, that it may feel that way when you're looking at it.
They don't have red glowing eyes.
No, they don't.
And
even eye shine is not red usually.
No, they're not. And there are birds like owls that do have eye shine. Mm-hmm. But I've never seen red.
No, that would definitely freak me out, no matter what it was.
Red eye shine comes back to another cryptid, though. A lot of people say there's Bigfoot with red.
Yeah.
But Bigfoot doesn't have wings.
No. Thank goodness. That'd be that would be something.
I've heard the glowing eyes before, and it's it also kind of made, but the first thing, it made me really think about Dogman. Mm-hmm. Because I've got a report of one that sounds an awful lot like a Dogman with wings.
Wow.
Think about that.
Yeah. And there's all kinds of theories about what these things are, whether they're, demonic or, just some kind of creature that is so rare that, you don't see it often enough to be a mainstream kind of thing, thankfully.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about going back to, and I don't know if you found some of these other things about Point Pleasant, there's been a lot of bad things happening. Mm-hmm. A lot of bad things.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting, and we'll talk about those in a second, but it's also interesting that whatever it was that those people saw that night, it scared them enough that they went to the police department.
Right.
And there's actually a museum in Point Pleasant, a Mothman museum. Mm-hmm. And there's a giant statue of Mothman in Point Pleasant as well.
And a festival, too.
So they've
They've embraced it.
Yes. Yep. But I was watching a video, and the museum actually has the handwritten police report. And it was like several pages. I want to say it was 4 or 5 pages.
Oh, wow.
Like front and back. And so, like, these folks that saw something that night, it wasn't like they didn't think this. It was just that, they were out drinking or something. It scared them enough that they went to the police department and they wrote a multi-page report of what they saw and what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that makes me think that adds some sort of a legitimacy to it.
Credibility, because you're not going to, if you're going to make something up, are you going to write down 5 pages worth of stuff at a police department?
Right. They'd have to be very creative.
Yes.
Have a good big plan.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. They wouldn't be winging it, that's for sure.
But as part of it, it's come to the point where if Mothman is seen, it's the sign of an omen of something bad that's going to happen.
Right.
And supposedly that region is cursed. That's where they think Mothman came from. And I'm sure you found that too.
Go ahead.
Okay. And it was supposedly from a Indian chief called Chief Cornstalk. And people believe that he placed a curse on that whole area because the settlers that were there at that time, they were trading with the Indians and the natives that were there, the Native Americans, and they really were getting along with great. They were getting along with them, and so for some reason I couldn't find that why, but the chief ended up in a cell in the fort that was there at that time, and he was murdered in that cell.
Oh, wow.
And so they believe that that's the curse, is because he was murdered there.
Mm-hmm.
So could the Mothman be part of that curse? That's the belief.
Or could he have been there because of the curse?
Exactly. I've got several things that people believe are cursed. There was a coal mine accident in 1907 there. 310 miners were killed. 1944, a tornado came through that area of the tri-state. 150 people were killed.
Wow.
1967, which you brought up, the bridge collapsed. 46 people.
Mm-hmm.
1968, an airplane crash in that area. 35 people killed. 1970, the very famous Marshall football airplane crash. 75 people killed.
Jeez.
1976, the Mason County Jail, there was an explosion there. 12 people were killed, or 4 people killed, 12 were injured. And in 1978, there was also a train derailment which caused a toxic chemical spill in that area.
Gee.
I mean, it makes you think.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things there that's happened in that area.
Crazy.
And in 60 years, 70 years.
And the thing is, dozens of people have seen these creatures around that area.
Yeah.
It's not like you get a random Bigfoot sighting or something. There's been dozens of people to see these things.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What else did you find?
Well, I found that, just seeing them is not all that happens.
Okay.
That there's evidently some other strange things that goes on whenever they're around. There's like electrical interference or phone problems. I know in the movie they have like static and horrible sounds and stuff that comes through the phone whenever something's going on with these things. And of course, around them, this always cracks me up. There's feelings of dread. Well, yeah, if I'm looking at that, I'm going to have,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to dread looking at it because,
I'm going to be scared.
Yeah. So I don't know if that actually brings on a feeling of dread itself or the fact that you're seeing it is bringing on the feeling of dread. But also that once they've been seen, that the people who have seen them have nightmares, which that would make sense to me. I would too. So
for sure.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of other things around that makes it almost makes you feel like it could be something otherworldly.
Yeah, there's definitely a belief that it could, and if it has to do with a curse, yes, it could be something that's almost demonic.
Right, demonic or supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
They think it could feed on negative energy, which you hear that a lot, especially with shadow people and stuff, that they believe that feeds on negative energy. They also say that sometimes it seems to be connected to time or dimensional anomalies, which makes you think it could be, like Bigfoot possibly crossing through a portal, or however Bigfoot manages to disappear, that maybe these travel in the same, fashion or something.
Same way, yeah.
So,
maybe that's how they do come and go.
Yeah. I know John Keel, who wrote the Mothman prophecies, he thinks the creatures might be part of the larger phenomenon that involves UFOs, men in black encounters, strange lights in the sky, and psychic experiences as well. So,
yeah, there was definitely some reports of UFO activity and these creatures at the same time, which also makes the interference, the static, the electrical
makes sense. Yeah,
makes sense for that as well. Yeah.
First sightings are here in West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky area, but it ended up there's been sightings around the world too. So he got famous, I guess.
He got famous, and then he moved to Chicago.
That's right.
In Chicago, they call him the Owl Man.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like the same creature to me.
Yeah, glowing red eyes. Yeah. The same height, the fact that he flies.
And, the funny thing about that is that, there have been a lot of sightings in that area.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's not that they're in the woods or that you're in Appalachia in the mountains.
This is a city.
This is the
Chicago proper.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I found more than one that was in downtown Chicago.
Right.
Which is crazy. I mean, Chicago is the fifth largest city in the country?
Yeah. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful city.
But you would not expect the weird things there.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Weirdos in the Wild. Before we return to our program, AJ and I would like to take a moment to remember my brother John Tincher, co-founder of Beyond This Life Paranormal, and Alan Oxley, AJ's father. Both passed away just before we recorded our first episode. Each and every episode going forward, from this one on, will be in remembrance of them. Thank you.
Looking for your next favorite book? Or maybe your next ghost story? From the Ground Up Books isn't just a bookstore, it's an experience. With 2 unique locations in LaGrange and Shepherdsville, we're proud to be a local hub for readers, writers, and lovers of the unusual. Our LaGrange store is tucked inside the historic Ballard House, built in 1840, and yes, it's haunted. Join us for book signings, author events, and ghost hunts through this legendary Kentucky landmark. Or stop by our Shepherdsville store, nestled along the Bourbon Trail, for small-town charm, indie reads, and a few spirited surprises of its own. So if you love books, community, and just the right amount of weird, come visit us in person or explore online at FromTheGroundUpBooks.com. From the Ground Up Books. Read local, feel the history, keep it weird, y'all.
Feeling overwhelmed, stuck, or energetically off balance? It might be time to reconnect with yourself. At Mystic Bliss Reiki, we offer heart-centered healing using Usui Holy Fire and Karuna Reiki to help you release stress, clear energetic blockages, and awaken your inner peace. Whether you're seeking personal transformation, looking to heal from past emotional wounds, or curious about your soul's journey through past life regression, Mystic Bliss Reiki is your sacred space for spiritual renewal. We also offer certified Reiki training so you can not only receive healing, but also become a healer. Sessions are available in person or online, so wherever you are, your healing can begin. Are you ready to feel lighter, clearer, and more aligned? Visit mysticblissreiki.com and book your session today. Where energy flows, healing begins.
Sorry, Jesse. Siri is now talking to me.
I was like, what is that voice?
All right.
Did we say something that sounded like Siri?
I
Probably.
guess. I don't know. Yeah, but in Chicago, it's...
Okay, let me know if I can help with anything.
Maybe Mothman is coming to visit us because there goes some electrical anomalies. Now his phone's doing it. My phone's in the car, so...
Siri talking to me on my iPad? No.
We have stuff all the time, haven't we?
Okay, and I said
about
Siri, now she's back again.
This? Oh, yeah, that's it. All right, no more talking to her.
Okay.
Some bloopers for y'all. There we go.
That's right. All right, so Mothman went from Appalachia, rural area, to urban, suburban Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot of recent reports. But did you want to get into something else before we go into some of these recent reports?
No, that's where I was heading, so go ahead.
Okay. So, I mean, I've got reports from 23 and 24. I mean, crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it does kind of go along with a little bit with what's in West Virginia, in that people are seeing these creatures around parks or wooded areas and water.
Right.
So maybe there is some sort of tying there, that they're there in those type of areas and that's where they want to be, or that's where they want to live. I don't know. I'll just go through some of these here. Guy in July of 2024, right around July 4th. I mean, he is laying in his bed. He's looking at the park tower. And he sees, he's kind of half asleep, had a rough day, just laying down. He says it's about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Looks out, can see this tower, and sees these red, what he described as like eyes, but were really like laser beams.
Oh, wow.
And he described, and now I'll give you this. There was some sort of lights on the building for the 4th of July. He admits that. There was something on there for the 4th of July. But he's like, no, these were not lights. They were more like laser beams. And this creature was standing on a ledge of this building. And he described it at basically what you would say is a Mothman. A large, dark figure, winged. And he just saw it jump off the building, and it flew out over toward where, and out over Lake Michigan.
Oh, wow. That gave me goosebumps. That's a visual.
Yeah. I mean, literally downtown, and he sees this.
Wow.
Crazy. And then another, this one is, I mean, if you talk about something that is, this one is crazy to me. This lady sees something while she's sitting in the drive-thru at a Culver's.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. For those of you that don't have Culver's in your area, Culver's is a
Custard ice cream.
Custard ice cream,
burger
burgers.
joint, yeah.
Yes. Very good. Culver's is. But she's sitting in the drive-thru getting her something to eat. It's like 5:30 in the afternoon. She's heading home getting her dinner. She looks up, sees something, and locks eyes with it.
Ooh. Ooh.
It is sitting on a building that's a little ways away. And then she said it just kind of launched itself off the edge of this building. Not kind of like you said before. It wasn't like it just flapped its wings and it flew away. It just jumped and launched itself of it. And then she said she just sat there and watched it, and she could see that it landed just a block or 2 or 3 away, and there's a park there. And she's like, it landed where that park was. She said the wings did not flap. It was this grayish black figure, and she estimated it being 6 to 7 feet tall.
You know what this almost makes me think of?
What's that?
The devil.
I mean, it's
Some demonic, devilish type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was in the Chicago area as well. I got one from Glenview, Illinois, that was from 2023, July of 2023. This lady, she had same thing. She got home, did a few things, said I'm gonna go get something to eat. She's driving back to Glenview to get some food. She passes a wooded area. She looks over, standing on the side of the road. First she sees like, oh, that's a deer. Except this deer was standing on 2 legs. And this deer was, again, a gray body, red eyes, and about 6 to 7 foot tall.
Wow.
Just standing at the side of these woods.
Yeah.
I got more Chicago. 5 friends. They're in Chicago, in the little village area of Chicago. Doing what kids do. They're hanging out. Hanging out behind this building. They're skateboarding, talking, laughing, having a good old time. They look up and they see on the corner of a building that was a flea market building, they said. Across the parking lot is this creature standing on the building again. And what gets me is every one of these, it's just like what a bird would do.
Mm-hmm.
It's standing on a ledge of a building, just like a bird.
Or gargoyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just sat there and they watched it. And they watched it for like 5 minutes. And they said again, red eyes, dark in color. But this one made a noise. And it chirped at them like a bird. But it said...
That's not a sound I would expect a Mothman to
No,
make.
but they said it made a chirping sound over and over and over again. And this is the only one I came across that had made any type of sound, any type of noise.
Right.
But they said it had the red eyes, and it locked its eyes on them and never took their eyes off. It never took its eyes off of them. Finally, the same thing. It leapt off the building. It flew over top of them and never broke eye contact with these boys. And just then was gone. I got a Kentucky one. You got a Kentucky one?
I did not know a Kentucky one.
Yeah. And I couldn't find the exact city. But this was in north central Kentucky on the Ohio River. Right on the Ohio River. The gentleman has a house there, and so it was a nice day, nice kind of evening. Mm-hmm. Went out opened the back door of his house, walked out of his porch, just kind of enjoy the evening. Said it was already dark, but walked out to enjoy a calm, clear evening. Said it was stars everywhere, not a cloud in the sky, kind of out in a rural area, but right on the river, which is another thing, right on the Ohio River again. He said something caught his attention, and he looked up, and this thing leaped off of his house.
Oh, wow. Ugh.
And it went right over his head. He said it was about 10 to 15 foot wingspan. And it was about, he said, 10 to 15 feet above his head. Uh-huh. He said it went out into his yard, and then he said it was flying, but he said it was like it was floating. Mm. It wasn't like flapping its wings. He said, and it was about at his head level, floating across his yard.
Wow.
Think about
That's
that.
interesting.
And that one was very different. He said it was and then he said it just kind of floated across and then kind of went down, and he lost it over the house, some other houses that were kind of down below his house.
It's almost like levitating.
Yeah, he said he explained it as floating, not like a bird would flap its wings.
Right.
And this guy said it was a large human-like body, and he explained it like Batman. It looked like what we know as Batman.
Right.
Long, dark.
But our Batman doesn't fly.
No, but you know how Batman has his cape.
Yeah.
That's what he said. It was kind of like what he thought as a Batman.
Huh.
And that was one of the things that a lot of people did describe the wings, was either owl-like or bat-like. Mm-hmm. I did see one person that I was reading about that said the wings were angel-like. Which I was like, there was only one person that described it that way, though.
Yeah.
I found another Chicago one. I mean,
Chicago's ate up with them.
It was ate up with them. This was on June 12th of 23, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Two guys in their car. They're driving. They go under an underpass. And they were on the interstate. Mm-hmm. It's not like they are like on the road by themselves. There's plenty of other cars around. This thing came from under the of the overpass on the interstate. Mm-hmm. Like you see a bazillion birds under there too. And they said they caught like the left half of its body in this huge wing they described as like a bat wing, how you can kind of see through it. Uh-huh. And they said it just over their car, up and gone out the other side of the overpass. Ugh. And then they said it was as if no other car ever saw what was going on there.
Really?
Nobody slammed on their brakes. Nobody rubbernecked. Nothing. It was like they were the only ones that saw it.
Huh. Makes you wonder.
Makes you wonder. It really does. That one was really weird. That's why I wrote that one down. Like, why were these dudes the only one that saw it?
But that makes me wonder, too, because you know how some people can see ghosts and some people can't.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe there's something to these. I don't know if it's like another dimension. I don't know. I don't understand all this. But that maybe only certain people can see them.
I don't know. Which kind of leads me to the last one I got. Because this guy saw it 3 times.
Oh.
3 separate times.
It'd be worth following up on this guy, see if something happened to him.
Well, this guy, he's from Hinckley, Illinois. And he saw this thing 3 times at night because he's a truck driver and he drives a delivery route.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time he saw it was in April of 23. And he was driving his truck on his route. A giant limb falls across the road. And he's like, what where'd this come from, kind of thing. And at first he sees something and it's bird-like and he thinks it's an owl. But then he realizes that this thing is almost 12 feet tall.
Wow.
Short brown fur, has arms and legs, and separate wings. Just like everybody else. But he's describing it with brown fur.
Maybe it's related to the Sasquatch.
I don't know.
Or Dogman.
And it swooped down out of this tree, swooped at his truck, and then just gone into the night.
Wow. I'm going to have nightmares. These things are going to be chasing me tonight.
3 weeks later, he's on I-39, 10 miles from where he saw it the first time. He sees it again. This time he gets a really, really good look at it.
Uh-huh.
He says it has webbing on it like a flying squirrel. He didn't describe it. He described it still having wings, but like its arms, legs, you know how a flying squirrel has that webbing.
Right.
He described it as having that webbing. It had 3 claws on its front of its foot and 1 big talon at the back. And
That sounds like a dinosaur.
And this is the scariest part. It had an elongated snout like a wolf.
Ugh.
I mean,
That's a creature.
that is a messed up looking creature.
Yeah.
Then he runs into it 1 year later in April of 24 in Kane County, Illinois. He said he was west of Caneville, and he saw it again. It almost hit his windshield.
It's got it out for him.
It does have it out for him. He must have scared this guy the first couple times, because now he's got a gun on him. He pulls out his gun. He takes 9 shots at it.
Oh, wow.
He said it wrapped up and balled up when he took the shots at it,
Uh-huh.
and it just disappeared into the darkness.
Oh, wow. Did you see it again after that?
No, that's the last time I had anything for that guy.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, he saw it 3 times in the span of 1 year.
Well, I wonder, too. When you said it had the nose, the snout of like a dog or a wolf, there's a lot of bats that have those features.
But not that big.
Not that big, no, but there are some big bats.
Yes, there are. I've seen some giant bats, and they can be big, but
Yeah. But not in Illinois or wherever that was.
yeah.
I don't know, maybe. But that's one of the things I ran across, too. Sometimes they think sometimes it could be something that was prehistoric, that they thought was extinct, that really wasn't. There's like just, a couple of them here or there, but I don't know. Freaky man.
Yeah, that one was kind of weird, and he was the person that said it. He'd saw it more than once. But yeah, it is crazy. There are images of it out there, and it looks like what you would think. It looks like a Batman.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a person. It has legs. It has wings. I'm looking at some pictures right now. This one's from December 9th of 2023. Crazy stuff.
And that's not that long ago.
No. You know, there's also a belief that these could be modern Nephilims as well. Which I kind of makes sense to me, but it's also weird that, you know, after basically 40 to 50 years, all at once you see them, and a lot of these are coming now from a different region, but all in Chicago, that Chicago area.
Makes you wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Because I found that they were actually seen in Chernobyl
Oh, yeah?
in 86.
Really? I didn't see that. Tell me about that one.
It's really all I know is just that the workers at Chernobyl saw a giant black bird not too long before the explosion.
Mm.
So I don't know if it was humanoid or they just saw a giant black bird. Something that resembled it anyway, but there was reports of that, and then it was also seen in Mexico and Russia. So it's not just this area. There's some things out there that's similar
That's around
across the world. Yeah.
Huh. Wow. I had not came across that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But then there are also people that just say, oh, that's just Appalachian folklore.
Not at Chernobyl, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is that.
Yeah.
But how did Appalachian folklore go from West Virginia to rural West Virginia to
Chicago.
urban Chicago?
Yeah. I guess that's why I keep thinking of gargoyles, because...
Yeah? Yeah, maybe gargoyles on big buildings are just standing up and flying off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's at Waverly. The big giant.
There are some big giant gargoyles
Gargoyles
at
at
Waverly that are kind of ominous looking.
They're statues, of course. They're not.
Yeah, we've never seen them move
No.
yet.
Yeah. Never seen it. Doesn't mean it doesn't.
Maybe.
But they're pretty big. Yep.
Maybe we'll see them yet.
Who knows?
All right. Well, that's about what I've got for
That's
the
all I
Mothman.
got.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, before we get out of here, we got to thank our people we always thank.
We got all kinds of things going on right now.
We do. We do.
But we've got Mystic Bliss Reiki. We got to thank Missy.
Thanks, Missy.
My bookstore, From the Ground Up Books.
Thanks, Roundup Book.
We have... Thanks. We have Crossroads LaGrange.
Thanks, Chris.
In LaGrange. But we also have some news there with that, as well as we are going to not only have a podcast in the store, but we're having a radio station in the store called Salt River Current.
Yes, we are.
Which is a sister radio station now to Crossroads LaGrange, where you can listen to a show very similar to ours called Dimensions Radio on Tuesday nights. You can stream that on the Crossroads LaGrange app.
Yep.
We're also, as part of this radio station, going to have Wild Wednesdays. So Wednesday nights, we're going to replay Weirdos in the Wild. So if you've missed something or you don't want to hunt up an episode, you can download the Salt River Current app or go to the website saltrivercurrent.com. The radio station launches. Can't do it yet unless, this is after the 4th when you're hearing this. But it launches at 4/4 at 4. So April 4th at 4 o'clock. So that's a lot going on.
That is a lot going on. There's a lot more going on, but
We'll leave that for another day.
we'll leave that for a different day. So, well, Lynn, I think that was pretty good. We haven't talked about Mothman, so
Yeah.
another cryptid down.
Another one down. Another one bites the dust.
All right, get us out of here.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone, and keep it weird, y'all.
Thank you for joining us at Weirdos in the Wild. Please show us some love and support on our Patreon account at Weirdos in the Wild. Like us on all of our social media. And if you've had an experience you'd like to share with us, visit our site at weirdosinthewild.com. Until next time, keep it weird, y'all.